Here I am. Here I am. What's up, y'all? People in the building. Can y'all hear me? Because I'll be talking. And Vanessa. What's up, Vanessa Caton? What's up, Vanessa? What's up, IG? Who's in the building? Mr. 8 More, Sean in shape, and T Styles is in the building over on IG. That's what's going on. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, we got about what? What we got? We got like 13 days, 18 days. Derek Ball is in the building. You stopped me mid-sentence there. You see that? You see how I stopped? You see how I stopped for you, Derek? Don't you say I ain't never did nothing for you. Don't you say? And I saw your text too. I when I think about it, I'm like, I gotta get back. I gotta text Derek back. So I saw it. It's my bad. It's my bad. Linson's in the building. Lady Low is in the building. What's up, y'all? Jennifer. What's up, girl? Hey, Sean in shape. What's up, girl? What's happening? What's happening? Happy Tuesday, y'all. We got 18 days. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? What we doing? What we doing? What we doing? Susan is in the building. What's up, Susie Q? What's going on, y'all? We are talking about, I'm just going to hop right in it. 7 million men. Derek, are you representing for the men tonight? We got some men over on IG though. Mr. 8 More. I don't know who else. We got some other men over here on IG, Derek. That's going to help you out. 7 million men quitting? What is going on, y'all? Hey, I know that's got to be Robin, right? Facebook user, because I know Susan's over there. I know it's got to be Robin, right? Or Tivia. See, I be knowing y'all. I be knowing y'all. Listen, we're going to talk tonight, y'all. We're going to talk about it. 7 million men are quitting your jobs. Why? What is going on? This is something that, here's the deal. Let me just get into it. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. So there's always been these gaps, right? There's been these gaps. There's been wage gaps. There's been gender gaps. There's discrimination. There's age gaps, right? And so when I think about gaps in the workplace, from my lens, from my perspective, right? Being in HR, being in talent acquisition, we see those data points. We see that, oh, we need to hire more women over here in engineering, or there are no, African Americans in tech, or there aren't any older people over in marketing, or whatever the case may be. So from my lens, this is what I think, right? In my perspective. And you are going to have you're going to have your perspective. So when I came across this, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm going to say this. Y'all don't beat me up. Derek, don't beat me up. Men over here, Thomas, y'all don't beat me up. I didn't think about the men. Because, and ladies, y'all, let me know. Because it seems like they get more pay. They get the promotions. They get to, the levels. They get the cushy stuff. That's from a woman's perspective. Ladies, what y'all think? What do you think? So that's my lens. So again, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I got to take a deeper dive. I got to figure this out. I got to see, what do they mean by this? So the context from around our topic today is from a book that came out in 2016. And I'm going to let you all listen to the guy that actually wrote the book. I can't even remember the title now. I'm so excited about it. But he talked about why men aren't working. I think that's what it's called. See, Lady Low, you know what I'm saying? That's just the perspective. And basically, he talked about men not working. And so he wrote this book in 2016. And then after COVID, there were some other data points that came out around men quitting and not working and things like that. Now, this is going to get a little deep, y'all. But we're going to have dialogue. We're going to discuss it. I want to know what you think. So I just wanted to tee it up. And what you're going to watch next. Now, the entire video, and of course, if you want to see the whole thing, let me know and I'll drop the link. If you're on IG, you may want to rush over, come on over to IG. So, what we on? Facebook. What is it called, y'all? YouTube. Come over to YouTube if you want to see the video, or you can listen to it. What you're going to see next is the author of the book, and he's talking about where he got all this information from, okay? Because I want you all to hear him say it. The entire video is 16 minutes. We're not going to watch the entire video. We're going to watch less than half. So hang in there with me. Less than half of it, because I want you to get good context so we can have dialogue around it, okay? So let's listen to what he has to say, and then we're going to talk about it. And again, if you're on IG, come on over to YouTube, Careers by Kelly. I think that's what I'm called. I am Kelly. Okay, let's go. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen, and I think we're going to go here. No, we're not. We're going to go there. Okay. I'm going to pull it up, y'all. Hold on. Here we go.
Joining us now is author Nicholas Eberstadt. He's the author of a fantastic book, Men Without Work. Let's go ahead and put it up there on the screen, which actually has a new introduction, which is part of the reason that we all wanted to talk. Men Without Work, which demonstrates a crisis of male wages, of unemployment, talks about some of the reasons. So just for context, Nick, we actually recently had Richard Reeves on to discuss his book of Boys and Men, and we got a tremendous response from our audience, and it's something we want to tug on a little bit more. I was familiar with your work now for quite some time. So just describe maybe the original thesis of the book, and then why it becomes even more relevant in the aftershock of the COVID, after the COVID lockdowns and the economy that we're all living in 2022.
Sure. Well, it's a problem that's been hiding in plain sight for almost 2 generations. We've been seeing this previously invisible crisis of the collapse of work for men, mainly driven by an exit from the workforce of prime age men of 25 to 54-year-olds, let's say. It's been almost a straight line up from 65 to the present. I put out the first edition of this book in 2016.
Oops, sorry, y'all.
And the unnerving, eerie thing is the line I calculated for the exit from the workforce, which is almost straight, has just continued right on from 2016 to the present. So we've got more than 7 million prime age guys neither working nor looking for work. For every guy who's unemployed, there are over 4 who are neither working nor looking for work today. And that is why male work rates are now kind of at about 1937 levels. We have a depression scale problem of work for men on our hands right now. And that's obviously not the only thing going wrong in our workforce right now.
So do we know what those men are doing instead of working in regular jobs? And also I was curious, in the statistics, do things like, driving for Uber or these sort of like gig economy type of work, is that included in the statistics of men who are working? That's
supposed to be included, Crystal. I mean, in principle, in practice, some of it may be missed. In practice, some moonlighting may be missed. But the scale of the problem, I think, is basically pretty for real. I think the scale of the problem isn't artificial.
And so do we have a sense of like what they're doing with their days instead of work?
So about a 10th, maybe a little more than a 10th of these guys who are not in the workforce are really full-time students. The way they behave, the way they act is more or less like people who are employed, not surprisingly, because they're expecting to get back into the workforce. For the overwhelming majority, though, the people who are neither employed nor in education and training, you've got a really dispiriting picture that is being painted by them, by their self-reported answers to surveys about how they spend their time. They basically say that they don't do civil society, that they don't do worship or charity or volunteering. They say that they do remarkably little help around the house, either with people at home or with housework. What they report doing most is watching. We can't tell from the surveys what they're watching. We can't tell what type of devices or what the content is. But like 2,000 hours a year, as if it were a full-time job. And before the pandemic, they also reported almost half of these men reported that they were taking pain medication every day, some type of pain medication. So we've got a kind of a tableau suggesting that people are kind of prepping for deaths of despair in too many cases.
And so what are the downstream social effects of this? Like, why should people care in essence? What socialized costs are all of us incurring as a result of this crisis?
I've thought about that a lot, Sagar, and as far as I can tell, there's absolutely nothing good that comes out of this. It leads to this huge gap in our workforce, means slower economic growth. It also means bigger income and wealth gaps in our society. It probably means more dependence upon social programs and social welfare over the long term, more pressure on fragile families, less social mobility, less involvement in society, and trust in institutions. There's just, you do the 360, there is nothing good that comes out of this.
And what do you see as the spark that set this process in motion? Because I believe you said it's basically a straight line since I think you said 1965. So what starts to happen that changes the dynamic that leads to this sort of, not just dropping out of the workforce, but becoming a sort of observer of society rather than a participant in altogether?
It's a really profound question, Crystal. And since this has been going on for over half a century, it's an established historical fact, a big fact. And like other big established historical facts, it's probably got a lot of influences intertwined there.
Sure.
I can point to a couple of things. One has been the erosion of the previous family order in the United States, because the men who are never married or don't have kids at home are way less likely to be involved in the workforce too. Another is the expansion of social welfare benefits. Our system is very stingy. I've been told by anybody I talk to in Europe or other affluent societies in the world, but there can still be perverse disincentives, especially in our disability archipelago of programs to infantilize people who shouldn't be affected that way. We've also seen the explosion of crime and the explosion of punishment. This is a really big one. Our government does not collect any decent data on our invisible ex-con population, but we have reason to think that there are now 25 million American adults who have a felony in their background.
Wow. And
you know that mass incarceration is the problem we talk about. It's like 2 million people. That's less than a tenth of this big problem I'm mentioning. So about 1 in 7 adult guys, by my calculation, has a felony in his background. And that has to be a big part of what we're seeing here.
Are we seeing?
All right, y'all. What we think? What we thinking? What we thinking? Oh, y'all active. I love it. I knew y'all would be. I knew y'all would get into this with me. So here's some more. Here's some more. Like I said, I did some digging on this, and here's an article that I found. Let me see. That shared some additional insight, because I'm like, let me just come back to y'all. So I'm like, okay, there's 8 billion people in the world. Okay. Maybe 7. I would have been like not even tripping if it was like 70,000. If they said 70,000 men weren't working, because you heard him, he said watching their screens. He's saying that 7 million men would rather sit at home and review their screens or look online or whatever than go to work. Basically, that's what I took out of it. I would have been like, okay, 70,000, that may be around, maybe 700,000, but 7 million? And then again, I told you all, like, my perspective, and you have your perspective. I talk to people every single day, both men and women, and everybody's pretty much working for the most part, men and women. So who are these men? Who are these men? Who are these men? Right? And let me share this a little bit with you, and then we're gonna get into it. So here's the part though that Let me see. I'm gonna wait. Let me see what y'all saying. Video games? Elizabeth, really? You think so? I would think 7 million men. Derek said, I need to know more demographics. What education level, ethnicity, inclusive of urban and rural, etc. I had to say, I know where you're at. I know exactly where you're at because my mind was there too. But even with that, Derek, 7 million, that is a big, that's huge. That's a lot of people sitting around watching their screens. Elizabeth said more single parenting. Let me share this with you all. Also. So how do I get there? Let's see. Okay. So here's when I went to digging. I went around. Here is this is the article, and y'all can find this on Yahoo. Let me make sure y'all can see me. Oh, it's still going. Hold on. So this article here, let me show you the headline. It's the same article, and this is the guy. He talks about a chilling metric of all. This is the most chilling metric of all. About 7 million American men that are done looking for work and have punched out, right? This is on Yahoo if y'all want to go find it. And it's another interview. But here's the part that got me. This is the part. Let me find it. Oh, check this out. Eberstadt, that's the man we just saw. He's the man that wrote the book. He says a vast majority of these prime age men spend around 2,000 hours a year on screens, doing little housework and don't spend time volunteering. However, there might be more to the story than men simply slacking off and sitting at home. The decline of men in the workforce may be partially due to the drop in manufacturing jobs since the 1960s, which have either been automated or moved offshore. Here's the part. Additionally, ladies, let's check this out. Additionally, research shows that women, hear me now, women are more likely to have 4-year college degrees compared to men. Do y'all agree with this? When post-secondary education typically comes with better employment prospects. This is saying that women decide, I'm going to go get educated because I know by getting a 4-year degree, I'm going to have more opportunities afforded to me. So they're saying men don't think like that. This is Kelly talking. Don't say that in this article, right? But this is what this is saying, right? Women account for more than half of America's college-educated workforce. Not half, y'all. More than half than America's college-educated workforce. This is according to a Pew Research Center. College-educated women are now participating in the labor force at the same rate they were before the pandemic, while the share of college-educated men working or actively looking for work has lessened. So women didn't stop. Before the pandemic, they was grinding it out. They was working. After the pandemic, they kept it going. But men, it lessened. They weren't as active. Why not? Why not, y'all? I forgot to share the other part of this. The other part of this that's most important. That's most important. They talk about how there's more opportunities now than ever. And that's the scary part, is that nobody cares. Nobody cares. 11 million opportunities, but people don't want to work. And they're saying men. Now, they didn't break down, and I'm with Derek. I would want to know the breakdown as well. But I still, regardless of that, I still think it's a lot. Derek said not everyone is playing Fortnite. I agree. I don't believe men are all on, playing video games or on, he said on screens. I don't know, I don't know what that means. Elizabeth said daddy daycares. So taking care of the kids? So who's taking, ooh, Robin, I like that. You're right. You're right about that. So who's saying, you're right about that. That's a good one, Robin. That's a good one. Elizabeth said mama boys. So we paint a picture of who we think this is. Thomas on IG says, wow, there is a brainwashing effect, but you have to push through. This is what Thomas is saying. Yes, the statistics are on your side on that point. I do think it is maybe a certain demographic, but for some reason, that number is really, really big, y'all. That's a huge number. That's a huge number. In that article that was on Yahoo, it goes on to talk about that, thinking back to the 1960s when there was manufacturing jobs, and now that those jobs have been automated. I think about my mom working at a plant. She was surrounded by men, right? On General Motors. A lot of that stuff that even she did, and the men that worked there, a lot of that now is automated. You see the robots putting the stuff on, right? You see that they used to do. So a lot of those jobs are automated. But then we have I call them the new breed of men that still go to the office and work and do the things like Derek and other men, right? So for this guy to rewrite his book again now in 2022, saying now that there's 7 million men not working, I still find that hard to believe. I just still find it hard to believe. And y'all think it's a certain demographic. Is that what we're saying? Is that what we think? We definitely don't think they're at home playing video games, do we? Is that what we think? Hey, Melanie, what's up, girl? Who do we think these men are? Y'all say it. Y'all tell me. Who do we think these men are? We don't think it's men in corporate America that's working and doing their thing. We think it's a different demographic, right? Derek said most men that I've worked with and spoken with have focused on work and immediate money for themselves and their families. Sadly, the male Gen Z is all about working instead of education. Okay. So you're saying they just want to get to the money, basically, versus getting educated and learning a skill or craft or mastering something, becoming an expert in something. Is that what you're saying? I just wish that, and maybe he does in his book, I don't know. I just kind of scratched the surface on this, but I wish that he would have, because he talked about, men being incarcerated. Okay. Men being incarcerated and those having felonies, finding it hard to find a job. And I know that to be true as well, because we do background checks, working as recruiters. And I know we don't hire felons for most of the roles, but I do know there are roles for people that have been incarcerated. Elizabeth said, did they take in account that they got tired of hearing no and gave up? Ooh, that's good. That is good. That's real good, Elizabeth. That's really good. That's a great point, because I do know a guy, he's typically on here. He started a entire Facebook group because he couldn't find a job for like a year. He said he was so tired and so burned out. He started helping other people. That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. I don't know if they took that into account. This other guy actually interviewed the writer of the book. I'm going to share the last part and listen to what his perspective is on this, because like I said, everybody has a different perspective. I don't know that there's a right and a wrong answer. But I thought it was an interesting topic. Let's listen to what he has to say. Let's see if we got the right one.
million able-bodied men between the ages of 25 and 54 are not only not working, they are affirmatively not looking for work. They've punched out. They're done. The vast majority of them spend over 2,000 hours a year on screens. Now, I'm going to get a lot of pushback for this because people will say, well, you're just calling lots and lots of people lazy. No, I'm not. I'm saying that the unemployment rate is an artifact left over from the Depression era when we tried to make sense of what was happening in our economy during a time when we explained unemployment by a lack of opportunity. Today, you have 11 million open jobs. You have 7 million able-bodied men sitting it out. So what's really happening in the country now that scares me, right to my core, fundamentally, is that we've never had so much unrealized opportunity and so little enthusiasm for it.
And you
Yeah, I really agree with him on that last part. I really agree with him on that because I see it myself. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone. I'm not going to say I'm the only one, but y'all that have been here in the community for at least this year, I've been saying it at least one time a month about all the opportunities out there, like never, ever before. But I agree with him. It's like he said, there's no enthusiasm for it. If you've ever wanted to do something different in your career or there's never been a time like now. Y'all know I always say this. Everything else is going down. The stocks and the food is going up and the Fed is increasing rate. And the jobs, there's too many jobs and not enough people. You just heard there's people that don't even want the job. They're not even excited about it. For the job that you may want, have always wanted, nobody wants it. So I agree. I don't know how you feel, but I agree with him on the last part when he said 11 million openings and there seems to be no enthusiasm about it. And in my mind, I'm thinking that's because all this other noise, recession-proof this and recession is this and hold on to this and don't do this and you don't see the opportunities. These people are saying, I don't even want it. I don't even want it. And then, because like I said, I talk to people every day. There are those that are fearful, understandably so, especially if you've been doing the same role for 5, 7, 12, 11, 15, 20 years. And then on top of that, you're listening to this and this is happening and don't do this and don't do this. You can't get through all the clutter and hear this. And again, my perspective, everybody's going to see it from a different lens, right? And I get that. Let me see what y'all say. Thomas said, this is true too. Thomas said over on IG, he said, the world has changed and the pride and focus of self-achievement is a value system approach. Values still matter. But I wonder, Thomas, is it just us? Like all of us is around the same age. Like, is it just us who think like that? And if it is, guess what, y'all? It's more opportunity for us. Eddie said, hi, just joined the live. I was made redundant after 15 years. Salary in the 3 figures. What do? I feel fine, but hate to start looking for a job. Now I'm in my mid 50s. Listen, Eddie, the opportunity, just like I said, I think we think sometimes, and I'm not saying you, Eddie, and we're like I said, we're probably all around the same age. We think that it's like starting over. And starting over isn't starting from scratch. There's a difference. You got something now, you got experience now, you have a knowledge base now, you got career history now that's mobile. You can take it with you. And you got experience like nobody else. The millennials, the whatever they are, Xers, Yers, whatever. And we have to change our mindset when it comes to our age. It's an advantage. It's an asset. People wish they can get to our age. There's a lot of people that don't. And once we change our mind, because what we believe is what we do. When we believe that we're too old, we got to start over, we're going to be discriminated against, we're overqualified. What the heck does that mean? How are you overqualified? Can't I just be qualified? What does that mean? When we believe in ourselves, we go after these 11 million opportunities. Jackie said alternative income sources is making a comeback, and millennials don't see the value of incurring the educational debt the same as previous generations. That's true. That's true. It wasn't a thing, Jackie. It wasn't a thing. Melanie said, what about these new social media influencers? There apparently is some money to be made. Not sure how it works myself though. Yeah, they're making money. That's the it's the age we're in. There was never a job description for a social media manager. We got all kind of new jobs now. We got blockchain engineers. That's new. Right? When some of us got out of college, there were roles, administrative assistants, executive assistant. Remember, we used to be secretaries. And then it turned into administrative assistant, and then it turned into executive assistant. So a lot of these roles now are new. And it doesn't mean that what we do has diminished or have left. It's just flip the script. A little bit of what we do now, like as a recruiter, prime example. Part of what I used to do it all from beginning to end. Write the job description, talk to the hiring manager, post the job, vet the candidates, call the candidates, schedule the candidates, bring them in for interviewing, pre-screen the candidates, run the background check, run the drug screen. They don't do none of that now. Y'all know, because some of y'all tell me about the interviews you have with HireView. They don't pre-screen you. They do it on a video. They send you the questions and you talk to a thing. They don't do that. Automation. So you're right. There's a lot of new things that have come on the scene. So what you do, and who was that had asked me, where do I fit? Where do my skills fit? Eddie, where do my skills fit into this? What transferable skills can I use in this new workforce, in this new workplace, right? It's not about what you don't have. The thing that we should focus on is what we do have, because we got a lot, more than most, but we don't recognize it. We don't leverage it. We don't use it to our advantage. We don't see it as beneficial. We don't see it as valuable. We're always thinking about the things we don't have. We got a lot of years in this game, all of us. We don't use that. But if you don't believe it, you're going to act on what you believe. Elizabeth said, many variables involved. If they do work, child support will take half of what they make if kids involved. True. That's true. That is true. But that shouldn't stop them though, Elizabeth, right? That shouldn't stop them from working. Derek said, I had a previous company to try to get me to talk high school boys to work in the plant instead of going to college. By the way, they were all young Black men with college options. Yeah, I believe that. Why they don't have to go on a plant? They don't have to go on a plant. And the plant ain't gonna be there that long because of artificial intelligence and AI and all these robotic things. No, get them some education. The more you learn, the more you earn. As far as us, we protected our children from seeing the reality of our struggle, that we may have robbed them of the lessons of grind and sacrifice and perseverance. They think it was easy. Jackie, you said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. My daughter, I wish I would have had more kids. She was single child, only child. And I tell her constantly that she is just very entitled. And I'm like, what, because like Jackie's saying, like, I wanted her not to experience the things that I experienced. I had a rough childhood. Some of it I have blocked out because it was so traumatic. But there were parts of it that I was determined that my daughter would never, ever experience, ever. And I meant that. There was days I didn't eat. She never experienced not eating. She's a foodie to this day. Because she ate. I may not have, but I made sure she did. Right? She would never experience not having lights and things on. Never. I would never let that happen. But I also, in doing so, like to Jackie's point, I don't know if I may have, made her this way. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel, Jackie, at some point when you grow up and become an adult, you are responsible and accountable for yourself, right? I don't know if that makes sense. But I agree with you. I know exactly what you're saying. Hey, Stacy, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. You also must account for military retirees. I was thinking about that, Linson. I was thinking about that because I talked to a few of them, when I'm talking to people, and they have a hard time transitioning into civilian life. And their resumes are all, about, what they did while they were in the military. So you're right about that. Thomas said on IG, well, the debt level of education is just flat out crazy. Can't even rent an apartment and I work for a living. Yeah, it is crazy. The debt is crazy. Yeah, y'all. So I don't know. I think I think a couple of things, more research. I would hope that there is a breakout, some data points around these 7 million men, and that we're not calling them lazy, like this guy said, because I talked to them, a bunch of them, and across, and throughout my career, I talked to a lot of men that are working and want to work, and somebody was saying taking care of their families, and for a lot of us, not just men, we got to take care of our parents now, and some of us are grandkids. Right. And so I do think there's also some validity around, the shift in the type of work that's out there. And so he mentioned manufacturing jobs. And again, if we're looking at demographics from our age group, what are we, y'all? Gen X's, Y's? I don't know the letter. 50 to 74, around that age range. We've seen, people work in plants. Like I said, my mom, and some of you had family members that maybe worked in plants, and we've seen that age, and now we at home. We don't even go in the office. We at home now. And so maybe it is, I think somebody was saying, maybe, I don't know, maybe men, y'all let me know, like, is it a thing? Do you want to be at home? Linson, Derek, Eddie, Thomas, do y'all want to be at home? Or is it a man thing to go into the office or want to be in the office? I'm asking. I don't know. Because they're saying this is after the pandemic, right? That these numbers, these stats came out where they're quitting. Eddie said, nope, don't want to be at home at all. So you want to go into the office. See, that's interesting to me. That is interesting because I want to take my big severance and save it. Yeah, I need to find a job because I want to take my, yeah. That's interesting because most men, like I said, I was doing some searching today and a lot of the guys were like, they would do hybrid work. So it's interesting, y'all. I think it's very interesting. So again, I don't know who these men are. I know there are a lot of them. I do think there is a demographic. The majority of them would probably be of a certain demographic and maybe a socioeconomic status as well. I am still unemployed March 2023, but I need to find something soon. Oh, until March 2023. Okay. Hey, Greg. Greg is on here. Join us. Join us, Greg. Join us. Thomas said the same thing, Eddie. He said he'd rather be out. He's over here on IG. Boomer. Okay, you're right in there. Thomas said, I prefer getting out. Maybe that's a man thing. Maybe that's a man thing. Greg said, depends on what field you're in. I work from home and prefer to keep working from home. Okay. I think that's true. Maybe it does depend on the field that you're in. Maybe it does. Because, when the tech thing, that whole thing came on the scene, it was about, wearing, your jeans and your hoodie and you're in the office, and most tech people work from home. It was allowed. I remember at one company, only tech people got to work from home. So maybe it is a specific field that you're in. Elizabeth said most companies do not offer retirement. That's true. Pension has gone. Eddie said, especially in my salary range, which is on the higher side. Yeah. But listen, again, I'm going to say this on the top of every mountain I can get on, or every soapbox. There are so many opportunities out there. You have to have a strategy almost, because there are so many out there, right? And if you're doing it the old, quote unquote, old way, going to Indeed, just going to, or if you're going to LinkedIn just to search, that's not going to get it, right? You have to be out there and have a digital presence out there. Be visible, be findable, so that decision makers, stakeholders, recruiters, hiring managers can find you, right? You heard the guy say 11 million opportunities. You heard me say it, but it's not just going to drop down, right, in your lap. You have to be out there. Let me put, text me if that's something you want assistance with. We need to create a package for you, right? A branding, a professional brand, put it out there in the market. And what happens is this makes you visible so that people can see you, what you've achieved, what your career experience has been. And most of the time, let me say this also, most of the time we give decision makers a history lesson about our careers. We give them history, stuff in the back. If you think about it, your resume talks about what you've done, right? All of your history level lessons. Instead of what you've achieved, the outcomes that you have had, the results that you've driven. This is how you become visible. And this is how you become, I tell my clients this all the time, a magnet to attract opportunities to you. Because the market is so right, they will come to you. Sean, there he is. I was just going to talk about you, Sean. Sean, tell him, Sean, current client, how many job opportunities? He told us this. I'm not going to say a word. Sean is right there in the comments. How many offers, not job opportunities? Let me correct myself. How many offers, Sean, did you have? I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to let him put it in the comments. Janelle, I saw you over here. I'm like, I know she's coming over here. Let me see what y'all saying. Y'all, this isn't a joke. This isn't like, it's not like we got, a whole lot of time. There's windows to this, because there's going to be a new president come in. There's going to be things that happen where this global talent shortage, they're going to have to do something about it. And the only thing right now that they can do, according to all the meetings that I've been in, is to bring in people from other places, other regions, because there's a shortage. If there's 7 million men that say, you know what, I don't want to work. If there's quiet quitting, if there's whatever resignation in Americans after the pandemic saying, I don't want to work, they got to get people from somewhere. And that guy said it. He said it. There is no enthusiasm for all these opportunities. And I'm like, where else can I say it? Who wants it? Who wants it? Look at what Sean put. Current client, not opportunities, y'all. These are offers. These are offers, y'all. When he came to me, what did I say, Sean? I said, oh no, we're going to get you more money. His lifestyle has changed. It's out here, y'all. Like, it's out here. It's out here. Let me see what y'all said. What did I miss? Derek said, Gen X, I must confess that I am currently unemployed after being pushed out. I took a week to decompress. I started interviewing the following week. I'm also starting my own business. You got this, Derek. You know you got this. You know you got this. And I know I need to hit you back. I know you text me. I'm going to hit you back too. Look at Cap Gemini for HR jobs. Elizabeth said, look at Cap Gemini for HR jobs. Greg said, COVID era changed the game for working from home. Yes, sir. It did. You're right. You're right, Greg. You're right. Eddie said, I work from home, but don't mind going to the office once a week if needed. Yeah, I think, and again, my perspective, I think, y'all, there's opportunity in going into the office as well. I know we don't want to hear that because remote, we're comfortable. We don't have to get in the commute and traffic and all the thing. But imagine going into the office and nobody else is there, you and your boss and all that, and you're building a relationship and rapport. This is being strategic. I talked about this in the video. I think we talked about it on here, right? But building that relationship, being there, getting firsthand knowledge about initiatives and projections and things like that, right? Because everybody's thinking about a remote role and working from home. And I get it. I totally get it. But just a different perspective, just being, because proximity bias is a thing. Being close proximity to what you want to pursue is a thing. And being strategic and thinking about how do I get to where I want? Not that I have to sit in traffic and I ain't going in because I want to keep on pajamas and just put on the button down and nobody will know. That's what everybody's doing right now. December, 13th. Everybody chilling. I'm gonna wait till January 1st. I'm gonna wait. We still got 18 days. Who said you got the who? Sound like an owl, don't know. Who said we wait on anything? Who said to wait on anything? It's arrogant to wait because that's saying that you know you got tomorrow. You don't know if you got tomorrow. You have no clue. You still got 18 days until Jan 1. You still got time. And all of us in here, we need as much of it as we can possibly get. And that is time. That is our biggest commodity, not money. It's time. We need to buy back our time. And if that means like who said going into the office maybe one time for proximity bias. So let me get closer in here. Let me start building these relationships and building my network because I know I want to get to director level. And I'm 57 right now. I'm 54 right now. And I'm 50. By 55, I want to be VP. I got to start now. Let me go now. While everybody chilling and buying Christmas gifts and just gonna wait, I'm gonna take action. Sean just showed you 6 offers, y'all. I mean, what we doing? Stacy says some men are tired of the repetitive schedule, and I know a few that are looking for different opportunities in tech or automation. That's a great point as well. I think, and that's a good thing, Stacy. I think that's a great thing. You should be exercising. Your brain is just like a muscle. You should be exercising. You should be pushing yourself. And I know there is scary, especially for us, right? Around our age, it's scary. Because we're a generation that has been loyal. We would stay in our roles for as long as they let us, right? getting out there and, like Eddie was saying, I know it's scary. I know it is. But if there has ever been a time, it's now. It's now. It's now. And you can text me. I'm willing to help you. We can map out a roadmap of your path to success. Your path, your career path to success. We can do that together. Right? And it's not for everyone because, that's not what everyone wants to do. But if you've been thinking about it, it's time to take action on it. Right? Because time is what we're really after, more of it. We never met anyone that's on their deathbed and said, give me more money. I wish I had $1 million. You know what they want? More time. Use it wisely, y'all. Don't wait and I got to think about it and I'm just going to hold on and I'm going to wait till the first quarter. I'm wait till the kids get, they're going to graduate in May and then I'll have some time and I'm going to, you don't know. You don't know. All them people in 2020 who thought that they was going to see 2021 and 2022 and 20, we didn't know that was coming. You don't know. Linton said either is fine with me. Jackie said as soon as soon to be divorced pastor's wife, the business of ministry has been very profitable during pandemic, and many pastors who worked full-time jobs have been able to substitute their income with programs. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Wow. Greg said, I would say let Kelly do what she does best and help you find a good job. Thank you, Greg. You're so kind. Thank you, Sean. Derek said, it's definitely not a man thing. It does vary. I agree with you on that. By individual drive and mentality. I've been working since 14. Every man needs a purpose. Amen. Amen. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I agree with you. I don't think it's a man thing either. Again, when I saw the headline, I'm like, wait a minute, 7 million? Jackie says, so they are drawing incomes, but through nonprofit grants in LLC, so not technically employed. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that, the nonprofit. Janelle laughing. Jay said, I'm enthused. Hey, Jay, I know you're going to come hold LinkedIn down. Robin said, but why? That's a great question. That's a great question. And I think it was Derek that said the generation, who is it there? Gen Zs? What did you say? I think he said I get them all. Gen X. It's a different mentality, Robin. That's what I'm thinking. Because my daughter is a millennial. They just, man. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to do anything. Hopefully she don't watch this. She's going to be like, Mom, they don't want to do anything. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be funny, but they don't want to do anything. And I don't know. I don't know. And again, I don't know if this is the demographic of the 7 million men. I'm just saying, just in general, as a blanket statement, in my opinion, because I have one. So if there's any millennials, I'm not saying all, but it's like, man. And see, from my lens, I don't get it because I work hard. Always have. So I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it, Robin. I don't know why there's no enthusiasm. And I don't just think it's Gen Xers. I think it's all demographics, to be honest. I do think somebody was saying about the mentality. Who was that? Jackie. Somebody was saying about the mentality. I do think the pandemic shifted some things. And again, I don't know. I do think the mentality did shift for some reason. And I also read when I was doing, research on just, our age demographic. Some people said, I'm gonna go ahead and retire now. When the pandemic was happening and things were happening, there were a lot of people that said that. A lot of people said, and like Eddie was saying, I'll just take my severance, and I'm just gonna, go. I'm not doing anything else. I'm good. I'm done. There were a lot of people like that. And I will also say though, those that decided to retire some of them had to come back to work because with the rise of inflation and things like that, they didn't account for that. So there's just so many variables, so many variables. Linton said, victory is almost here. Stacy said, yes, there are lots of jobs that Gen Zs just will not do. Yes, Stacy, it trips me out. Sean says, overrated. You got to go out there and work their money in their corporations. Yeah. Jay said, I've been in an interview process with one company for 2 months now. Y'all know Jay has been telling us about this. 5 interviews, homework, and then being told I am still a candidate, but the process is still ongoing. Yeah, that's the part that also I don't get. I had another client do the same thing. And what's up with the homework? What's up with that, Jay? The homework? They're doing that too. I just think some of these employers need educating because do they not get it? Like there is a shortage right now. So I'm not just saying take anything, but I'm like, get through the interview process already. Janelle said, personally, I never have to go back into an office again. I love work at home, and that's all I look for in Houston. I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. And there's a lot of remote work. There's a lot of remote work. There's a lot of remote. And I don't blame you because Atlanta traffic is no joke. Even on like a Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm going to the gym, I'm like, where are y'all going? I should be the only one on the road. Where are y'all going? So I get that. I get that. Linson said, Gen Zs have no excuse. There's an 18-year-old mayor and oh, I saw that. I saw that. That's real? I saw that. Jay said, I have been through several 5-step interviews and not landed anything. It's wearing on me. I get that. That is tough, especially this one. I don't understand what's going on there. Especially this one. You have been in a long process, so I get that. Jay said, what does it take to officially be your client? Text me right here. Text me. Just text me. I'll text you back. Elizabeth said, work from home gives me a sense of peace because I do not like office politics. Never learned how to play the game, and there's no diversity where I am. I can't even argue with you, Elizabeth. I can't even argue. I teach the game now to my clients. I teach the game now because I learned it. And here's the thing: I didn't even know I was learning the game. I was just in it, and then when I figured it out, I'm like, oh, that's what that was. Yeah, some people don't even want to play the game, but I like a challenge. I like a challenge. We gonna get this. Sean will tell you, I be on our we have weekly calls. Sean will tell you, I'll be telling them, listen, this is how we go in there with excellence, and this is what we do. Oh my gosh. Jinsey, okay, got you. Linson said there are a lot of office politics. It is best to tune it out and go for what you deserve. Yeah. Kelly, do you feel like getting an advanced degree in today's time for jobs are overrated? I got mine a few years ago, but I don't think it's needed to move up in most fields. I do, Greg. I do. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear it, but that's my opinion. I do. I don't think you need it. Not in today's economy. I mean, I would never tell anybody not to go and get additional education because I do know it's important for some, but it is not needed. It's not needed. Jay said, I have 4 millennial children and my son is the only loyal one in the bunch. My daughters have jumped in and out of jobs like jackets during the fall. Why do I believe you, Jay? So over on TikTok, I know I'm speaking to a different demographic over there. So I speak a lot about salary and money. So I talk to them about job hopping because I moved around in my career a lot. I had a few full-time roles. So a lot of them will come back in the comments and say, hey, it worked. I did this. I got 30,000. I got 20,000. I got 15,000. I got 25,000. So I go live over there sometimes and I tell them how to go to a different job and how when you go to another job, you get at least 10%. Keep it in your mind. I'm going to get at least 10% increase because your performance review, how much you going to get? Maybe percent. All you gotta do is go over here. You're gonna get 10 to 15%. Some of them got 20, 25,000. So it's a thing. It is a thing. It is a thing, Jay. And this is the only time I've seen where it's acceptable, right? Where hiring managers say, why you move over here? Why? They just want to know that you can do the thing. You can come in here and help me solve this problem. That's what they want to know. I meant to say that I want to take my severance and save it, but still work. Okay, I want to land something instant if I start. Okay, I got you. I got you, Eddie. Doug, hey. I was thinking about you because look, I got a smaller jug of water. Doc be keeping up with my water. Yes, Stacy, they want you to do homework. They want you to do homework. Jay had homework. I had another client who had homework to do. We had to work on our entire presentation together. We had to work on she had to present. And yes, they want you to do homework. She had to do a whole presentation. I agree with you, Jay Jennings. And it's kind of tripped out because it's like you're adding more, knowing that you can't find anybody right now anyway because of the shortage. And now you want them to do homework? You trying to be picky? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Sean said, using Kelly's steps, I've gotten an offer from all 6 interviews. Real talk. Yeah, he really has, y'all. It's no joke. He really has. Yeah, he got that big old raise. He got that big old raise. All right, y'all. How we feeling? How we feeling? We all right? We all right? Good conversation tonight. I couldn't wait to talk to y'all. I couldn't wait to talk to y'all. I'm like, they're going to tell me the truth. They're going to tell me what they think. I think we had some different perspectives tonight. I think appreciate, respect everyone's perspective because there's some things I didn't think about. I didn't think about. I was just like, well, how is this possible? How is this possible? How is this possible? But I do think there's some more research that should be done. And I do think, like many of you were saying, there should be some breakouts in demographics and things like that, so we can get a better understanding about how they came up with that number. I think it's important, and then to single out, right, a certain population, which are men. And he said between 25 and 54. Is that what he said? Yeah, 25 to 54. It's dangerous, I think, because that last person that was talking in the video, he said, I don't want to say that they lazy. Well, why you say it? You know? So I do think it's some data points. What if they don't get the job? Yeah, and they're out there. And like Jay was saying, and Eddie too, you know, they've been out there looking. Some in they don't get the jobs. Some of them don't get the jobs. And the question becomes, why? And just like Robin was saying, why aren't they enthusiastic about it? There are opportunities out there. And I think Jay also said, you know, at some point you feel like, you know, it's draining, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And I could totally understand that. It could be mentally draining. And then especially if you have a family, you know, that you want to take care of, and just sometimes just taking care of yourself. So I get it. I get it. Hey, Alex, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, y'all. As always, we are here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate y'all, the dialogue. Y'all help me break up my day. Y'all always give me stuff to think about. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We're just going to keep trugging along. Y'all hang in there. Text me if you want to dive a little deeper into this and you want a roadmap. I know this is not for everybody, but for some of you, you're ready. You don't want to wait till January 1st. You're like, I'm not waiting. I ain't got time to wait. Let's get this thing done. Let's take advantage of the opportunities in the market. Just go ahead and text me. I'll write you back within 24 hours. Just put the word live. Let me say that because there's a lot of text there. Put the word live. And I'll know you were on the live session. That way I'll find you and text you back if you want to raise the hood on this thing and map out a plan. All right. I appreciate you all. You're welcome, hon. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday. Be safe. Bye.